Hello, this is an assessment of a Steinway Model M grand, that's 170 centimetres long, made in 2003, just come into stock, and I've tuned it, so I find that's a way to get my ear to really assess it and see what I feel about it. Needed pitch raising about 5 beats, which indicates normally, because it was well in tune but needed pitch raising, that it's had very, very little use, and as we'll see when we look at the hammers, that's absolutely true. There are slight scratch marks here. We will probably be able to get these out, but they don't. Normally you see a huge number of scratch marks. Well, there are some. We can definitely get those out. So it has had a bit of use, a bit of music on the side of the desk there. And looking at the piano itself, just slightly dirty, dusty, but really there's hardly anything to do here, just cleaning. The regulation of the piano is practically perfect. There's just a few minor adjustments I'd like to make, just refinements, but the piano is perfect in every way, really. As I say, just a few surface scratches, which I think we can get 90% of them out. Of course, it's really like a new piano, just slightly dirtier. A piano of this age sounds the same as a new piano, really, perhaps very, very slightly the bass strings. Let's try them. Nice and rich, as you'd expect them to be. They sounded excellent when I was tuning it, and of course the tuning pins are as tight as a new piano, so there's no real difference between this and the new piano. Perhaps, should we say, for argument's sake, it's lost perhaps 3 or 4% of its tone in the bass there, but very minimal, and it really depends on the individual piano, because the tone is very dependent on the soundboard too, and this is a nice full sound, so I'm very pleased to get the piano into stock. This is Renner hammers, as you'd expect on a modern Steinway. They're nearly all Renner hammers, occasionally Arbel hammers, and in perfect condition. If we look at, let's watch, just to show you the regulation is still as it was when it was new. So the spring, when we released the back check, springs up nicely, not too strong, and nothing worn on this at all. If you look at the hammers, that represents, I would say from experience, that represents maybe half an hour's playing for a year, and that's all it's ever had in its lifetime. So it's like a new piano, as I say, just slightly played in, possibly, so slightly nicer to play than a new piano, arguably. Now, before we listen to the piano in its entirety, I just want to compare it with a few other pianos in stock. This is a Blüthner 150 centimetres, so the bass particularly isn't as strong. But the tone of this Blüthner, this is a fully restored 1931 Blüthner. The action's very smooth as well, so it's an excellent piano, just a bit shorter. And this is a 2 metre long Bechstein, and we have 2 or 3 of these in stock. And of course, with the longer bass strings, has a richer tone. And again, the action is quite superb on this Bechstein, so it's a wonderful instrument. So that's an assessment of a Steinway Model M grand piano made in 2003, 170 centimetres long. And it really is a hardly used instrument. It's like buying a new piano, really. As I mentioned earlier, we've got other videos about Steinways and Model M's. We've got 4 other Steinways in the shop in stock at the moment, so it's a good time to come and view this and compare it with other ones. They're all slightly different. Action on the modern Steinway is slightly different, slightly heavier. This is like it's not heavy, but I mean it's slightly heavier than an older piano, which is slightly lighter. It's not much in it, but if you're a pianist, you'd notice the difference. But it's an excellent study piano, this one. Highly recommended. We put a 10-year guarantee on the piano, and if you're in the UK, it comes with a free visit. If it's near enough and I'm going in that way, I'll try and visit myself, because I'd like to just check the piano in the home, make sure it's just as it should be, the environment particularly. So if you want to buy this piano without seeing it, it's possible. I can guarantee you it's in perfect condition. But obviously we prefer people to come and try pianos out. Thank you very much for listening.